In case you forgot, I'm Taryn, and I'm your Tuesday gal. Last week we introduced ourselves to you and sort of gave you a glimpse to who we are presently. And now that you have seen the present, we would like to present you with the past and the future to help you get a little bit better idea of who we are. So if we take a trip back in time with the ghost of Christmas past. Baby Taryn was born in a little town called Las Cruces, New Mexico. One thing you should note about Baby Taryn that has not changed all the way now to present-day Taryn is that she's pretty sassy. As a child, I was shy and I was quiet, mostly around strangers, but also just in general. I really liked to read. I was pretty smart. I was the teacher's pet. People would always tell my mom how I was so well behaved because I was quiet. But even so, since the days I was a wee babe, I have been out of control sassy. Some of the examples that my parents love to tell. When I was 3 and my parents got back from the hospital when my brother was born, I told them that they needed to return him because I asked for a sister. And then one time when I was really small, my mom told me to clean something, and I turned to her and said, "Do I look like Cinderella?" So I think I just came out of the womb wearing sass pants. Then when I was 9, I moved with my family to Las Vegas, which was quite the culture shock for me. The new school I was at was the first place I ever heard anybody my age using cuss words. I went to a performing arts middle school and high school where I did theater, and that's where I really pushed myself and forced myself to come out of my shell and embrace the sassy. High school was an interesting time. It was really fun and I loved every second of it. My high school was unconventional because it was a performing arts school. We didn't have sports. But because the theater was held to such high expectations and I wasn't one of the teacher's favorites, I wasn't cast in very many shows. And my high school just sort of sucked the fun out of theater for me, so when I graduated, I just didn't want anything to do with it anymore. Then I moved here to Reno for college as a business major because I figured, ooh, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life, so I might as well be a business major. Business can cover a lot of things. Considered opening my own salon, considered being a bartender, briefly considered becoming a sign language translator. I worked as a resident assistant in the dorms for 2 years where I was a glorified babysitter and made sure all the freshmen followed the rules. And that was simultaneously wonderful and awful. About this time last year, actually, I was struck with a sudden revelation, and I realized that I missed having theater in my life. I wanted to perform, I wanted to entertain people, and God, I wanted nothing to do with business at all. I just hate literally everything about all of my classes. And that's when I decided that I didn't want to live a safe, boring life. I wanted to go out into the real world and try and achieve my far-fetched dreams and trying to make it big in the improv and sketch comedy world. And that's when I started talking to one of my friends who does a lot of local theater, and she introduced me to a local improv group who I've been working with since October. And working with them has just been such a blast, and I love learning and being up there on stage again, and I realized that this really is my passion, and this is what I want to do with my life. And that pretty much brings us to the present. Now, in order to take a glimpse into the future, let's channel Miss Cleo. Channel Miss Cleo. Channel Miss Cleo! Let's look into the future! That's not what Miss Cleo sounds like. The future, the future, the future. I graduate this May. In September, I'm planning on starting beauty school because even though I don't want to own my own salon, being a cosmetologist is still something I would really enjoy doing. And who knows, maybe at some point down the road. And then in about 1.5 to 2 years, whenever a friend of mine graduates from UNR, we're going to move to Chicago because that's where she's from and she would like to move back. And that's where I would like to move because improv. Then I plan on taking different improv classes or workshops or what have you, auditioning for things and just seeing where that leads me. And the rest of the future is foggy for me right now because you must pay for 5 more minutes of Miss Cleo to tell you the future. Clearly impersonations are not my type of comedy. So you've looked into my past and you've had a glimpse of my future and I'm just here in the middle, trying to live in the now. If you have any questions for me, or maybe you can relate to some of my experiences, or hey, maybe you think my life is boring, then comment below and let me know. I'm not a girl, not yet a woman.